Hi y'all, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Margaret Cooper Nygaard. This is No Recipe Necessary, and today it's kind of rainy, it's kind of gross. We're making French onion soup. So when I was a kid growing up, French onion soup generally was, that packet of dried stuff that my mother used to make into, probably your mother too, into a potato chip dip. Wasn't very good, but that was what I thought French onion soup was. Then I learned better, and so this is my take on how to make French onion soup. It's time consuming, but it's not difficult. To start with, I'm going to move this over here where you can see it better maybe. I've got about 3 pounds of onions that I've sliced. I use a mandolin to do that. You can see the mandolin over there. And I wear my reading glasses when I do that because that way I don't cry. Anyway, so we're going to get some heat going. Add a little olive oil. This is just a cast iron Dutch oven. I'm going to add a couple of cloves of minced garlic. And once that gets heating up a little bit, we'll add the onions. Now it's a Monday, so it's laundry day. I hope you don't mind hearing my washer and dryer going just down the hall here. The other thing we have going on is spring has sprung all over the ranch, and we have a koi pond in the backyard. And the frogs are really loud. They've been really, really loud this spring. And apparently romance is in the water because between the koi and the goldfish breeding and the frogs, it's a foamy mess. It looks like somebody's been out there trying to take bubble baths in my fish pond. All right, so now I'm just going to add all these onions in here, and we're going to sweat them down and caramelize them, which means basically you're cooking the sugars down. I see, I missed a little root there. I like to separate out the rings of onions as I go. I'm a little OCD that way. Now to this I'm going to add at this point a couple of tablespoons of granulated sugar, which helps in the caramelization process, and a little bit of kosher salt. And now I'm going to cook this down, stirring it every so often. I'll reduce the heat a little bit here until it's just that caramelized, that brown yumminess. The house is already starting to smell really good. But all of those things come together, it'll be ready for the next step. But right now it's just a little oil, onions, sugar, pinch of salt, and garlic. Almost forgot that. So that's it for this part. We'll be back in a little while. So we've got, it's been cooking for about 45 minutes, and I just wanted to take a peek in here. This is what's called translucent. When you're reading a recipe and it says cook till translucent, this is the stage they're talking about. They've sweated down quite a bit. This is 3 pounds of onions does not make a whole lot once it's sweated down like that. But we're not anywhere near being done because you see these are all white, and we don't want white, we want brown. We want golden brown, a nice kind of amber color is really what we're looking for. So we'll let it keep cooking. Okay, so this is about where I want my onions to be. They're pretty much amber colored. And so now we're ready for the next step, which is, first of all, I'm going to add a little bit of flour. Just to coat the onions a little bit. This also helps thicken the stock after it goes in. And now for your stock, you can choose whether you're going to use vegetable, beef, chicken, whatever stock you like. If you want to make it truly vegan, you want to do obviously vegetable stock. You can do vegan cheese, even just using just the stock and your regular shredded cheese will make it vegetarian. But just about 6 cups of beef stock is what I'm using today. Give that a good stir. I'm going to throw in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a couple of glugs of that, and I forgot the time. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, told you it was laundry day, and my dryer's in there making or the washer's making a big mess. So, half a teaspoon or so of thyme. Really accents the flavor of the onions and the beef, and a little bit of ground pepper. I'm going to cheat a little bit and use this instead of grinding it fresh. And now I'm going to let this cook and stir it occasionally for about an hour or so until it's reduced a bit, and then we'll move on to the next step. It smells so good. I always forget something, and what I forgot this time was half a cup of brandy. Another good stir. And now I'm just going to let this cook for about an hour. Okay, so this is pretty much done. I've skimmed off some of the foam. Foam forms around the edge as it boils and cooks, but as you can tell, it's thickened up a little bit. It's that lovely, like, color of beer is the way I describe it normally. Now, for the croutons on top, this is a weird thing that I had never understood, but I tried it without doing this, and they're just not as good. I have sliced French toast or French bread into rounds and toasted it, and now I'm just taking a clove of garlic and I've rubbed it all over both sides. Now this is how it goes together. I always like to try to make sure I get plenty of bread in there. And then pile on some gruyere. Now, I know that the common thing that I see a lot of people use is Swiss cheese. But traditional French onion soup is made with gruyere and not Swiss. So that's one done. And then I'm going to run these under the broiler. And we'll have dinner. Yep. Too close, you can't see anything. Voila! French onion soup. All All right, so that's our French onion soup. My sommelier tells me we're going to have that with a nice bottle of Syrah for dinner. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bon appetit, as my favorite chef always said.